I'm still in that time of year where I'm just wearing a heating pad at all times. It's so freaking cold outside and in here. So that's what
Yeah,
this is.
it's like, what the heck? I woke up to
Why is it
snow this
still so
morning.
cold? I know. What is going on? It's not normally this cold right now, right? This feels wrong.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a month ago, sure, but not now. We're well
No.
on our way to May.
Yeah, not happy. I'm cold all the time.
It's that time again. Time for the all new Culture Cast, which begins right now.
And welcome back, everyone, to the all-new Culture Cast. I'm here tonight with Corinne,
Hi.
and I'm Nick, for those of you who are one subscriber, but probably have fewer than that. But yeah, it's been a while since we've been able to podcast here. Just a life going on, I guess. But we're back tonight with a movie I recommended, and I don't know if that was a good thing or bad thing because only one person showed up to watch it. Was a 1974 movie called The Beast Must Die, which I recently learned was actually based on a short story. Um, a movie about it's a werewolf mystery where you are the detective, as the ominous voice tells us at the very beginning of the story. Um, and I subjected people to watch this thing. So, Corinne, what were your initial reactions to The Beast Must Die?
Okay. Well, I was going to ask why you chose this. I was very intrigued. The only thing I could come up was I did realize at the beginning with him kind of running around and having his whole like his people that he hired to try and hunt him. It reminded me a little of Deadly Catch or Deadly Prey, and I was wondering if that was what made you think of it or
It
something. Because I was like,
was. It
yeah, I was
it
like,
was.
what? It was really
I
unique. I will say, I mean, I'm impressed that actually recognized at least one of the actors. Dumbledore is in it. Yay. I like that. That was kind of cool. Did not care for his ending, but I did like that he was in it. Liked his character because he's a musician. Um, I did a lot of questions. I feel like it ends very abruptly, and I wanted many more answers that I did not get. Like, wait, why? Or, I'm sorry, what was your reasoning behind this? How do you figure? No. It's like, this is it. Oh, let's say Smithers did it. Like that kind of thing. I was like, wait, what? I was like, I don't understand. How do you figure? Good night, everyone. Like I was a little frustrated with that. I don't understand it. Women, like I always say, and yes, I get it. This is an old movie, and this is just a common thing. But women, very shittily written, as usually. Just two women with, I wouldn't say two-dimensional because one-dimensional, quite honestly. I mean, nothing going on. Absolutely no story. One is just a wife, and the other one's pretty much just a wife and possibly a werewolf, but we're not really going to take it seriously. I actually was hoping at one point that one of them would be like the original werewolf because I was like, that would at least give them some sort of like depth. I'm like, how cool would that be? And so they did throw me for a loop for a second when I was like, oh, really? Oh, no. Okay, never mind. No, yeah. So that's my feeling. What about you? What did you feel about it? And how do you even know about this movie?
so I'm a fan of Sven and who are you
Big
familiar with
fan.
Sven
I'm aware.
Okay, okay.
I'm familiar
Um,
mostly through you, but I mean, of course, I grew up in Chicago area, so I know who Svengoolie is, and I've seen the videos of you seeing him live and whatnot, and
yeah,
what a
like
fan you are.
even if you yeah, if you're a Chicagoland native, like even if you've never watched it, you know who he is. It's like Bozo. It's like it's just one of those things everyone collectively knows.
I actually knew who Svengoolie was before I even realized that it was based off of a character named Svengali, because I thought Svengoolie was some I've had known just seen him around my whole life, and just that was like the original to me. I didn't realize that Svengali was like a fictional character, and then like Svengoolie was based off of that. And I was like,
It's like a
oh,
riff on it.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know because my whole life I've known Svengoolie from late night television.
Um, and about during the pandemic, my wife and I really started watching him on a uh, regular basis, like something to do on Saturday night, you know. And that was one of the movies he had on, and either it had to be 2020, and I was really fascinated by it. And
Hmm.
like that was kind of a neat little movie. I mean, most of the movies he puts on are awful. I mean, they're B level schlocky, but that's kind of like the fun of it. Um, but I yeah, I thought that was a fun movie. It always kind of stuck with me because of which we'll talk about. I'm sure the werewolf. What was it? No, was it the werewolf time or the what do they call it? The where like the movie stops and there's like the clicking
The
top.
30 seconds, yeah.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, it's kind of one of those things. And then we were talking about Deadly Prey and how about part one and two both open the same way with someone being hunted. It flashed back to that movie that I saw, and I saw you could still watch it various places, whether YouTube or what's that library app?
Hoopla. Yeah, this is
Hoopla.
actually very available. Like you can see this in many places. This is very easy to watch, which was
I'm,
nice. It was not hard to find this.
I'm guessing no one cares about its public domain status or anything like that, but
Nobody wants credit for it, much less to like fight anybody for posting it anywhere.
and I just thought it'd be an interesting movie to talk about, just because it's of a certain era, but it's still like a little unique for a movie like this, just because usually the monster is trying to like kill the people and they're trying to run away. This time the guy like sets out like I'm going to find where the monster is and kill him. His what's his name? Tom. Tom's the main character here. His
Yeah.
motivations and suspicions are really he's reaching for this to be yeah.
It's pretty weird. I mean, it is one of those, like, it's got that kind of one of those things that I'm guessing you only see in movies where someone's like, I have so much money, I don't know what to do with it, so I'm just going to spend it on really stupid shit. You know, like, just kind of waste it on something that will in no way come back and give me more money. Like, I'm just going to throw money at, hiring all these people, outfitting my yard and having all this ready to, because for no reason, just to find a werewolf. Like, I don't think there's a reward at the end for him or anything like that. It's just for his own fun, like this sort of hunting. He considers himself a master hunter and he's going to figure this out. What I don't get is I'm not sure how is he reading every newspaper in the world? How does he know that these
Well,
are the most likely people to be werewolves? And how does he know that only one of them would be one? For all he knows, couldn't they all be werewolves?
the more the better, I guess, in his mind. But
I mean, like, there's so many, like, just so much of this. I was like, well, what? Like, I need much more explanation to like why you're doing this and why you think this will work out, and like why on earth did werewolf come to mind? Like, it was just so like weirdly random. And then I love that there's just Mr. Technical guy. Like, there's some guy there who's like 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 the dude from Scream. This sort of like, I know all the technicals of werewolves, and I will tell you along the way. Like, the reason this didn't work is because Wolfbane and blah blah blah. The reason this doesn't work, like adding all these reasons why what he's trying to do could not maybe could have like fallen through the cracks or something, which was just infuriating. And like, oh, where's the logic to any of this? Where is the science behind this? And I'm sorry, sir, how do you actually have a job in lycanthropy or whatever exactly this is? Who paid you to do this? That's like the guy from Ghostbusters whose job is working at the like working in Bill Murray working at a college as the professor of like paranormal activities. I'm like, what college has this department? Like, it's just one of those jobs where I'm like, that's not a real job, but okay.
yeah, there are like I can't tell if it seemed like they all knew him, because like it's very strange that if I was one of the guests that he invited, that like, oh, this rich guy wants to invite me out to his place for a weekend. Okay, sure, I'll go. But like,
I'll spend the like first off, adults don't just go places and like spend the night. Like, that is not a thing. I'm always surprised when I'll see that in movies. Like, like Clue or I don't know, whatever, something like that, or House on Haunted Hill, where they're all like, I got an invitation to show up here and stay for a weekend or something. And I'm like, who does this? You don't know where you're going, you don't know anything about it, you don't know the person, but you're trusting them with your life.
but it seems like he knew them somehow. Like I know the uh Dumbledore and Dumbledore's wife the wife was friends with Tom's wife because they said they lived together. So like there's a connection there. The paint
Okay.
yeah, the painter who said I ate human flesh, I just got out of jail.
Yeah, what? How do they know him? He went to med school and then ate a cadaver and went to jail for that or something? Like, what a crazy ass story. That's the one thing that reason they think that he's the werewolf. And yet they really like lean hard the whole movie about it being him. Like
Right.
the guy
He's
really has no, oh, and the hairy hands. I love that
yeah.
one.
His name should have been Red Herring, but
Hand herring.
uh,
I mean, I
um
would be like, I have hair on the back of my hands, but sure. What a weird, yeah, I don't know.
it's very strange like how these people like did he know them like the disgraced diplomat did he just have nothing to do to come in and then like the professor like he just decides to show up. I mean I don't know how they all knew one another or what, but that part is bizarre. That part is very bizarre, but they all
It was
decide to,
very weird that he sort of just was following them and noticed that there just happened to be a lot of death in their wake. And so was like, I know, I'll bring them all into my home. And I'm guessing one is a werewolf. Not all, not zero. I mean, it was just really going out on a limb with the whole thing. Very interesting. But
like
it
I like
worked, huh?
yeah I like the idea of it, but I wish it was a case of where maybe they're all together to begin with, and then one of them, there was a werewolf attack, so suddenly the big game homer was like, "Ha! One of you is a werewolf, and I'm going to find out who it is."
Yes,
I
that would
don't
have
know.
made much more sense. Like they were all residents in some B&B or something. Yeah, I don't know. Like that would have made much more sense rather than like all these people that don't know me or don't really know me agreed to spend several days in my home and just were hanging outside having tea at the beginning while I go run around and fake death in front of them. That was a weird one. Why didn't they leave right then and there? Why didn't many of them leave many times at that
Well,
point? Like you'd be like, this is very I'm not having fun anymore. I'm leaving. Like I would have
like
been me 3 hours in.
the two guys do try to leave, and like he like aggressively denies
Yeah,
them
the
that.
helicopter guy like chases them down or whatever. Why don't they all be like, this is ridiculous? I'm calling the police. That's another thing. No one ever calls the police and was like, get me out of here.
They did explain that, as weak as it is, they said the phones aren't working, which he probably deactivated the phones.
Mm.
Um, like he was very much obsessive with he must find who the killer is. Um, but like I rewatched this movie and I almost regret rewatching it because it's not as like fun as it was when I first
Mm.
saw it. When you're not going into it, like this is not a bad movie. This is not like Deadly Prey bad. This is just kind
No.
of like, oh, that's a movie, and
Mm. Like they tried for something, didn't really work. Could have used a rewrite. Could have used some better editing. Good acting.
the
That one, the one, his wife is gorgeous. Oh my God. I was wondering if she was like a supermodel or something at the time. I was obsessed with her.
which one, which wife?
I'll look her name up. The lead character's wife, Tom's wife.
Oh, okay.
But apparently her whole part was dubbed over by
Carolyn
somebody. Yeah, which I don't know why.
was dubbed over.
Yeah, her
Interesting.
voice.
You know,
Yeah.
during this time, a lot of movies did that on people you would think, why are you doing this for? Um, Holy smokes! I just looked her up on Wikipedia. She was married to Billy D. Williams.
That's cool as fuck. That is so cool.
From 1968 to 1971.
This movie broke them up, probably.
Well, the movie came out well after, and he is her only spouse. Billy D. Williams, on the other hand, has been married 3
Oh.
times.
Well, I mean, if you marry Billy D. Williams, who are you gonna get after that? Like, it's all downhill from there.
That may be.
Come on. That is a cool fucking dude. Wow. Billy D. Williams. But yeah, unfortunately, I know I was looking up all of her other work and it was not fascinating. Like nothing great. A lot of stuff, but nothing terribly interesting. And the lead guy, I was kind of interested in him because he seems like he sounds British, but he's actually from the Bahamas. I don't know, maybe he was also dubbed. And like I was like, what's he from? Like he seems like he could have been an interesting Poitier like character or something from the time. But like no, he was known for like blaxploitation shit and everything. I was like, oh,
Right.
that's disappointing.
Um, the movie, I guess I'm looking at Wikipedia here. The movie Cotton Comes to Harlem. I guess he's known for that. But
Yeah, I've never heard of that. So,
no,
but okay, if that's his
yeah,
claim to fame,
I don't know.
cool.
Let's see. It's looking at looks like it. I don't know if it's technically blaxploitation, but definitely has that sort of vibe to it based on the poster and everything. But I mean, yeah, the acting in this movie is surprisingly good. There's like a lot of known character actors in this film. Um, like Michael Gambon as he ultimately he ultimately is the werewolf who later went on to play Dumbledore number 2. He was the second one, right?
Yeah, I mean, Pete was most of the Dumbledores because the first one died pretty early on, didn't he?
I think after the second movie he died, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like he's the main Dumbledore in my opinion, and
Um,
he did a lot of other good stuff. He was in
nope, just Dumbledore.
no, what is that one was it there was one. I don't think it was a hotel, but something that was at the time it seemed really popular, but I feel like it kind of completely fallen by the wayside since then. What am I looking for? Oh, Gosford Park. I feel like it seemed like a big deal then, but now it's like, oh yeah,
Oh,
I guess that was a thing.
it was like there was like yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
We have also some other fun character actors. Peter Cushing, who's probably best known to mainstream audiences as the head bad guy in the first Star Wars movie, but he was also in like a ton of horror films in the 50s and 60s, which a film like this is right up his alley. And also has Charles Gray, who was in a couple of James Bond movies around this time, as well as being the narrator for Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh yes, very cool. It's just a jump to the left. That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
And
cool.
so it was kind of fun seeing like all these like little character actors all being put together in one little movie here, which makes the acting in this much better than it has any right to be. So good for them. But do you want to talk? Let's move to the end of the movie here.
Okay, let's, because I was pissed when I found out that apparently Michael Gambon was the original werewolf. Well, so first how it's done is we get that 30 seconds of like, who do you think it is? And I had settled on I don't know, but I was wrong. I don't remember who I picked, but I was wrong. I think I thought it was Michael Gambon's wife, that woman, his student. I was like, yeah, have it be her, because there's absolutely nothing going on with her. Like, I can't tell you a single thing about that character. It would be interesting. Like, I would give this movie credit for giving her something, but it didn't matter. No, but then what they kind of fooled you by making it seem like it was the lead character Tom's wife. But then he realizes later that at one point his dog is being attacked by the werewolf and his wife is with him. So she is not the original werewolf. She broke her hand. Her hand gets cut on a glass or something.
Yeah.
And
which I like that little twist.
It was clever.
That like how it got transferred from the dog to her. Like, oh, okay, it's kind of neat.
It was a clever idea because for a few seconds you're like, oh, really? And then you're like, but wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. That can't be right. But it is a fun. It's a nice idea. It's cool. And of course, yay, finally a woman has something going on in this movie, which I enjoyed. But then didn't really matter. He has to kill her because they go around doing the silver bullet thing. Put a silver bullet in your mouth, and she immediately turns into a werewolf when they do that, and so he kills her. And then they realize that means somebody else is the werewolf because she got it from someone else. And a few more people die, and then eventually he kills a werewolf in the woods, it turns into its human form, and we realize that it was Dumbledore. There is zero explanation for how we can realize it was him. Like nothing saying, of course, after all, blah, 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 blah. No, nothing at all. It's just like, and it's him.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to the movie where the parts where the werewolf was, because I think he's there. He's wandering around with his wife at certain times.
Yeah, like there's yeah, I mean, it just didn't make any sense. And also, just on a practical standpoint, what annoys me about the idea is that he's supposed to be a classical pianist. And I can guarantee you, just as a performer in general, 90% of your job is performing at night. He would not have a career if he couldn't be out on a full moon or whatever. Like, this whole thing was just ridiculous. Like, that whole idea was just stupid. The second that they were talking about full moons, I was like, oh, well, it's not that one. Like, that was my immediate action. I was like, well, it's not the piano player. Like, all of his concerts are probably at night. I was like, couldn't be him. Nope. Surprise.
You're putting too much reality into this movie.
I know, but I mean, that's what annoyed me the most was then it was him, and then it was like, well, I guess him, that guy. You know, like it was just like, but there was no explanation and no like, after all, let's go back and flash back to where was he when, like, there was nothing, it doesn't say anything about it. It just kind of does it, and you have to be like, oh, okay. Like, that, it really pissed me off. I wanted more. Like, explain yourself, movie. How dare you? Like, I feel like they just chose somebody.
I mean, that one could work. Again, the him being a pianist and having to play at night, that didn't bother me so much. Because I guess I didn't think of it like that. The only thing I can think of is maybe they purposely went on vacation, and I don't know, but it doesn't matter, I guess. But yeah, it doesn't go into like putting the clues and the seeds down. Like, this is not a good.
Mm-mm. You don't go back and you're like, of course, after all, he did this, or he said this, or blah, 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 or he didn't technically hold the candlestick, or something. Like, there's none of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely none. And it's infuriating. I'm like, there were no hints whatsoever.
It's, yeah, and it's not a good mystery for the audience. If it was like a straightforward, like, I'm going to find the werewolf, then it could work. But like, the movie starts out by saying, you're the detective. You're going to find out. You will be the one choosing who the werewolf is.
There's no
and
clues.
This movie, yeah, it doesn't. The movie doesn't work like that. It doesn't. I later learned.
Really fun. Like, it would have been a really cool idea if they'd actually done that. Like, given you something to do, like a Sherlock Holmes type movie or something, you know, where they sort of actually give you something.
Like,
as subtle as it could be. When
you get to the werewolf break, there's like not enough clues to point to who it could possibly be. Like, the cannibal, it could still be him. It could still be.
Yeah, it seems like they are really trying to push that one, obviously, though. They're trying to be like, that's who they want you to think it is, obviously.
Right.
It's sort of carefree, not super likable-ish character. I don't know. Like, you're just supposed to kind of want it to be him. I don't know.
That's a trope in a lot of these mysteries where you think it's going to be one guy and then it's clearly not, which I'm okay.
Where have you been this whole time? Where have you been? How is your window open?
I learned, I was reading about this movie, I learned that the werewolf break was something added in by the producers. Just
right,
like
the director and writer hated it.
Yeah.
They didn't like the idea.
They did not. And they're like, this is stupid. Why are you doing this? You're ruining the artistic quality of this film.
I think it makes it memorable. You might as well have it at this point. I mean, I think it makes it unique.
I think that's one of the reasons why this movie stuck with me was because they had the werewolf break, because it was so weird. Like, who does that? And again, that's what made me like. It's one of those things that just sticks in your mind with like a weird movie you see, and 40 years from now, I'll like remember this movie and I'll remember the werewolf break. I'm like, I should watch that again, and I'll be like, yep, this was a mistake. But
yeah, it would be interesting watching it again. I don't know that I've watched it from the beginning after like knowing who the werewolf is. I wonder if I would see anything, you know, that time, but maybe not. I don't know. Not really.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Michael Gambon is the first one to leave, the first one trying to get out of there.
Right, and I know he even suggests, like, well, then why don't you just keep me here and leave everyone else? Which was a nice offer, but he didn't take him up on it. Would have saved himself a lot of heartache if he had.
I love how cold and detached Tom is in this movie.
He's kind of awful.
He is awful, which kind of makes it awesome at the same time, just because he just doesn't care. Like, even his wife at the beginning, she's like, "What if I'm the werewolf?" And he goes like, "Pow!" Like he doesn't say it jokingly, because like her face gives off no, he wasn't joking. That like, he don't care.
Yeah, and it is obvious that he's gotten way too into it, that he's obsessed. And his wife, I will say, the wife is just not like, you think that she would have much more of a spine at some point, but she's just very much like, oh, you're being very rude to our guests. I'm like, these aren't even guests. I'm like, these are hostages. I'm like, who are you kidding? Guests? You're not throwing a party. Like, this is horrible. You're not entertaining anybody.
I love how the first meal they have, no one wants to eat because it's like overly bloody.
Like raw meat. Yeah, it was like, what the shit? So weird.
Was it the what's her name? Davina. That was the Dumbledore's wife. She's just like, her reaction to it is like over the top, like it's like, okay, I guess it's not the most appetizing thing, but like dial it back a bit.
Oh, I know. And then she's all like, I don't have an appetite anymore. I'm like, that's bullshit. No one ever actually was like, that's it. I'm just not eating for the rest of the night because I don't like what I'm seeing. That's only in movies.
This wasn't a documentary that actually
Give me a break. Bunch of bullshit. What did you feel about it being Jan or whatever, the piano player or the pianist? What did you think when you saw that?
Fine, I guess. I mean,
exactly. Whatever. Sure.
I mean, I think either the director or the writer set themselves in a problem where they had, like, I think the werewolf appeared 2 or 3 times previously, and each of those times the characters were accounted for, except for
Foot or whatever, Mr. Foot, the guy that everyone they really wanted to be.
Yeah. And like, and that's I guess that's one of the challenges. How do you make someone not accountable, not present, but still cast out whether it's him or not? And like, I think if the movie set that up where, because there's one time he said, I went to go walk around, but there are other times where he popped out of his room like, what's going on? But
he always shows up after the fact. Like, what's all the noise? What are you guys doing? Or he happens to be asleep with an open window and sleeping pills next to his bed or whatever after a big mass killing.
That was what's his name? That was
Foot. Yeah.
But yeah, but the movie then gives us another twist with Tom gets bitten.
I know. I was glad for that. I was like, this guy better die at some point. Oh, this has been horrible. He better die.
I feel that was like the appropriate way to go, because like it's like a Moby Dick sort of thing. It just kind of the whale gets Ahab, in this instance, or in this case the werewolf gets him. But I had a problem with that ending. I know it's a movie, but I had a problem with this even when I saw it, where he gets infected and his immediate thought was, well, I better kill myself, which, okay, he doesn't want the curse. Fine. But the movie established that it was the end of the full moon. So he had 1 whole month to like tie up all of his affairs, like, get everything all set. Maybe give back to that inner city. Well, not inner city. I shouldn't say that, but because it said he grew up on the streets.
They said he grew up, yeah, but they never say where because he has a British accent, doesn't he? And you're always kind of be like, oh, streets of where? Like, where are you from? But yeah, he says that, yeah, him and somebody grew up and there's some people are still there. And yeah, yeah, that's right. He was talking about that at the beginning.
Yeah, like he was like driven. I was driven, so I became rich. I got what I wanted.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like, okay.
we don't, do they ever say how? Like it was
I think it's
something in
implied he's a big
finance or
game
something.
hunter.
Yeah. He makes
And
money doing that? He got
sure,
loaded by being a big game hunter?
maybe at that time of maybe
I
during
just
those
assumed that was
days
a
you could.
hobby. Yeah, I didn't know people like paid large amounts for these things. Was he finding like Bigfoot? Like what the hell was he finding? Maybe he was like Dog the Bounty Hunter. Maybe he killed people.
It could. I mean, it's possible. But
Yeah, there's a lot of sure, okay. With him, yeah.
but he was driven up. So clearly he has a ton of money. And I mean, both of my parents have passed, so I had to deal with all that stuff. Being an only child, I didn't have any brothers or sisters to help me or hinder me. And that was a nightmare just because there was a lot of stuff. My folks had a lot of stuff put together. And, I learned a lot of stuff. If he had nothing set, all that stuff's going to go on probate. If he had any family that has to deal with it, that's going to be a hot mess.
Good point.
I think he killed himself because he didn't want to explain all the dead bodies that piled up in his mansion. Now,
I mean, he was going to jail. Yeah.
Yeah. Then Peter Cushing and Davina have to deal with it. So,
Yeah, they have no phone. They have to try and they're stuck there. Hopefully they can find some car keys.
Well, I guess the staff would be coming back because he said I gave the staff the weekend off. But apparently there's like the helicopter guy was still around. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how the cops have avoided all of this. Nobody heard any cops shooting or anything. Apparently he lives nowhere near anything.
I guess it's just a rural area. So, anything's possible.
But you make a good point. Yeah. What's going to happen to all this shit that they own and all this money and all this crap and just a huge mess they left for somebody? Was the government clean this up? What happens?
And a millionaire.
It's going to be like a brother or something. He's going to have some sibling who's going to be stuck with this shit or something, or a niece or nephew.
Yeah, and if he's as rich as, if he has more money than God, that's going to be even a huge mess. Because a lot of millionaires, they don't have their money just like in the bank. It's invested in stocks and a whole bunch of other things. Like they're not just. It's not like it's not like a mattress underneath in his bedroom there. So yeah, and all the mysteriousness surrounding his death. That's going to be a whole nother hot mess. Like they explain, like, oh, it was a werewolf attack. What? No one's going to believe that. Unless they say
the good news is they can just think it'll be a suicide, and then there won't be any worry about life insurance payout. So that'll be nice.
That's true. Maybe they could. Maybe the two survivors can explain, like, well, he brought us here and he went crazy and he killed a bunch of people and he just took his own life. Yeah,
that's what I'd say. And he left it all to us. Yeah, he said that.
Here's a napkin that he wrote this on. I loved how chill the professor was, just explaining all about werewolves and everything. And because he wasn't brought there for his expertise, he was brought there because the guy thought he could possibly be a werewolf. Like he's like, maybe because he knows he's not one, so he's not like worried about it. But I don't know.
I feel like he was really there just to be the person in the story who's like, technically, blah 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 blah. Actually, this won't work because blah blah. He's basically
exposition dub.
He's there for exposition. Yeah.
It's quite possible.
I mean, that's what I feel like.
I like a lot of what this movie had to offer, but interesting. It's been released on Blu-ray and DVD, and apparently there's an audio commentary.
By who?
By the director. I guess. I guess that's where he goes
that's
into
also the writer, right?
No. It was directed by Paul Annett. Not surprisingly, his only feature film. He, I guess, did a bunch of other direct TV stuff, and was written by someone named Michael Winder. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia entry, so there you go.
Well, it says it, but that guy was also one of the writers, though uncredited. Paul Annett.
That could be.
But maybe
like,
that was some like specific part of it or something, and
Yeah.
just a little bit. Who knows?
a lot of directors do rewrites on their movies, but I mean, he looks like the director really threw himself into this, so like more power to him. But
I'm looking up his other stuff. I don't recognize any of these other movies. Are these like looks like a lot of shows actually?
yeah, probably all British stuff.
Yeah, EastEnders. Yeah, Emmerdale. Yeah, I don't know any of this shit. Partners in Crime. This is all so British.
I love British shows. I need to watch more of them.
They are you should watch the more recent one about I think it's a remake, but it's delightful. It's about this Scottish veterinarian. It's based on books called All Creatures Great and Small. That was on PBS.
I have not seen or heard of that one.
Really? Oh, I had a lot of friends talking about it over Christmas. It was very, very, very cute. It's had 2
Is it
seasons
like?
out.
Is it
It's
still?
sweet.
Is it new? Like
Yeah,
just came out?
like this is just second season. Just finished the
Okay.
second season.
Maybe it just didn't
But
cross
veterinarians in like the 1940s or 1950s in London, or no, it's somewhere in England, like in the rural area of England. But very charming, very cute show. Very nice.
I'm a
They're
big
like
fan of.
farm vets.
I'm a big fan of Doc Martin. Have you seen Doc Martin?
I don't know that one. No.
It is a comedy drama, I guess, about a curmudgeonly doctor who moves to a seaside, rural-ish community where everyone's like very loose and happy and friendly, and this guy wants none of it. He's kind of like the British version of Dr. House.
I was gonna say this looks like Monk or something. Like just by reading it.
Yeah, in
Which
some
is always,
ways.
that's always a really good formula. Everybody loves the like awkward, cranky, weird, white guy doctor who has usually some sort of female assistant who's younger, like a Doctor Who, or something. Everyone loves that. It always works.
But I thoroughly enjoy that show, and they have like years in between seasons, but that's also a very British
That's
thing.
so British. And they also they have like a Christmas episode too every year and everything. I love the idea of Christmas episodes.
I think they only did one Christmas episode. It was like a Christmas movie, but I don't think Christmas had any impact on the plot. But they just do like that. But it's a good show. I recommend it. But I'd love to get a subscription to BritBox, but that costs money, and I don't have time. I barely have enough time to watch like the shows I want to watch as it is. So
the free ones. Yeah, no kidding.
But I like how this movie, according to Wikipedia, was released elsewhere under the name Black Werewolf, which which I think they're trying to go for a blaxploitation sort of sound, but because the main character is black, and which I have to applaud. The movie doesn't acknowledge that. Like it
doesn't make it a thing. I like that. It's not some. They have to keep referencing it or something. You know what I mean? Like
right.
It's just fine. He is what of it, and it's nice.
And especially during this time when like so many movies would, they're trying to be like more inclusive. Let's bring more black audiences in. Let's bring black characters in. And they make a point like, look, you're black. And they're talking like jive and everything. And it's
or
like,
they're a comedian or something. Yeah. Like they're,
right.
Dressed as woman or some stupid shit. Yeah. There's none of that.
No, I mean, this guy, like, he means business. You're not gonna get him talking, goofy or anything like that.
That was a very respectful character. It's nice.
But
it's a shame the movie's not great, but he does a fine job.
Yeah. So does that mean you'll never let me suggest a topic again? Just because.
Oh no. I mean, how many of my terrible movies have you watched? I was like, I owed you this one. Fair enough. And this is one of several. I know you've watched at least 3 garbage movies that I've recommended. So, in all fairness, you still have a few. You still have at
Hey,
least a few until we're even.
fair enough. At least like some of the ones you've been mentioning are like enjoyable in their awfulness, like um
Miami Connection.
Miami Connection and Samurai Cop.
Samurai Cop. Oh God, so good.
Like I'll never stop thinking about the wig that they pull off.
That falls off in the fight. Ah.
Like they didn't decide to refilm that. I mean, that's wonderful. It's
I
absolutely wonderful.
know. There's a YouTube where somebody like slows it down where you can see them fighting and you can very clearly see it come off. It's so wonderful.
Oh my god. I don't know what else to say about this movie.
No, I mean there's not much to say. It's not like garbage, it's not
Yeah.
a terrible movie. It's okay. I think it misses the mark, but it was probably interesting enough for the time. It's very of its time with the whole like here's
Yeah.
30 seconds to think about it because you couldn't pause back then. You know what I
It's
mean?
true. I didn't think
There
about it
was
like
no
that.
VCR or a DVD. You couldn't stop it. Like this was live television or whatever. So here's like, okay, everyone, think about it. Who do you think it is? Which is very of its time. I enjoy that.
Like I'm a big James Bond fan, and I must have watched the Bond movies over and over and over and over as a kid. And the films, the Roger Moore films of the 1970s, shot very similarly. And I don't know if it was just the way they filmed movies back then with like the slow pans over like different things. Like this movie, the cinematographer loved his zooms. He was zooming in on everything. I don't know if you noticed that. Like the character would look up, zoom in on them. Something would happen over there on a TV screen, zoom in on it. And like that stuff you just don't get today. It's just like the way they just did movies back then. It's like a little time capsule, like how they would produce these not high budget, not low budget, it's kind of like middle of the ground kind of flicks. And I don't know, that stuff fascinates me. But
Yeah, I didn't find it was low budget. If I saw somewhere that like I guess the werewolf was a German Shepherd because it was so low budget as it was said, but I was like, I didn't even think it looked low budget, quite honestly. I thought it looked okay.
no, I don't know what the budget on this was. Like it didn't look low budget. But it wasn't like a Star Wars where like they threw like endless amounts of cash at it. Which I know if anyone listening, I know Star Wars didn't get endless amounts of cash at the beginning, but you know what I mean. It was just kind of
actually,
like, yeah, get his fedora out.
some neckbeard.
But it's just one of those like mid-range films, which most movies are mid-range. But I don't know. The look of the film was very neat, even if some things got a little too dark at times. But
Yeah, I thought it looked cool. I liked the scene was good. The establishing shots were nice. It was a nice area. It was like California or something. I don't know. It was probably supposed to be British, but I thought it looked like California.
they may have filmed it in California, but probably not. I mean, it says a rural, according to Wikipedia, the source of all truth, it says it takes place in rural England. So there you go, I guess.
Yeah, according to this, it was actually filmed in Shepperton Studios in UK, in Surrey. All right, well, it's a nice air part of west part of London, England.
I wonder if that was like a standard house that they use for like various movies that, all right, these guys get it for the next 2 months to film their little werewolf movie, and then next month it will be someone else's, and then.
Well, they might as well. It was an awesome house.
Oh, I meant the exterior. I'm sure the interior was all like sets in some studio somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I got nothing else. I got no trivia. I got nothing on this one.
No, I think we mentioned everything that needs to be said. It's a good movie. I'm glad I watched it. It was interesting. It was. It took me back. I liked it. I like old stuff.
Alrighty. So I guess that'll do it for us tonight, Corinne. Thank you for sitting down and indulging The Beast Must Die. And you're
Thanks
the only
for
one
having me.
Yeah, anytime. You're the only one who bothered doing it, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's what it is. So,
I enjoyed
uh,
it. I thought it was good.
all right. Well, let's wrap this up here. Thanks for
All
joining
right.
me to talk about The Beast Must Die, and
Thank you.
everyone out there, thanks for listening. Whoever bothered to stay through this whole thing, and next week we will join us again when we talk about Twilight. Have a good
Oh,
one.
can't wait. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the all-new CultureCast. Follow us on Twitter. Drop us an email at nick.culturecast@gmail.com. We can't promise we'll read it. Theme music by Dana Vodovaz. Check out his work on YouTube at Vodovaz Music Productions. This has been a Saltwater production. Original material copyright 2022. Thanks for listening.
All right. Well, I'm going to take off then.